Yeah, hello and welcome to another episode of the weekly Spielworxx chat. My name is Uli Blennemann. Today I'd like to very briefly look back to 2020, to this year, and later I will have 5 questions for you, and you may win a free game if you're quick and post the correct answer in the chat window. And if you have any questions or comments to anything I'm saying today, please post this in the chat window. And I'm seeing Daniel here. Hello, Daniel, and hello, Mo. So hopefully, and Claude, good to see you. And hey, Stephen, podfather of gaming, Mr. Retirement. I'm so glad seeing you. Everything hopefully is great because the main thing influencing all our lives in this year, of course, is the pandemic, and everybody knows it causes stress, it causes fear, and it limits what we can do. So, personally, I was and I am very fortunate that my daily routine in this year has hardly changed. Okay, no traveling, but I work from home normally, and so normally I do not see a lot of people, and so that there aren't that many changes for me personally. But of course, I know that for lots of people, this year has been really miserable, and for Spielworxx, I do not know how testing will develop and or if it will become a lot harder when the lockdown, which we currently have here in Germany, will not end. And I doubt that it will be ending soon. So I can only say stay safe, you all. That's most important. And der Spieletreffenverteiler, good to see you, Matze. Excellent seeing you. And of course, looking to 2020, without any physical conventions, it was a year of the online conventions. And as you know, I did not like the UK Virtual Expo. I did not like GenCon online. I did not like Spiel Digital. I think all of them were big failures. And I seriously doubt that there will be any sizable, so large physical conventions next year. And so I hope that the online elements, which will of course stay, that they will improve. So now that the organizers have more experience and had more time to determine what really works and what does not work. So, and one thing is sure, there will be another very small, very warm, very cozy Conworks in next October, so this won't change. Um, and Matt, hello Matt, is saying, well, a podfather of gaming shows up when Uli is giving away games. Yeah, so he's sitting there in Florida, probably it's 25 degrees Celsius over there, and he's waiting that the drone is dropping the free game from the Spielworxx chat into his chair. So this is probably why he's here. And hello, Markus Purple Shiba, good to see you. And we are playing another online game on the 30th of December, so looking very much forward to this. And Ben, excellent seeing you. And Ben is saying, I think that's a smaller online conventions work best at this moment, and I totally agree. There was a very interesting, to my mind, article linked at BGG, and they said, or the author said, that the community factor is most important. And sitting alone at home, you cannot really, even with a Discord server with lots of people there, you cannot really uh, do the same thing online than when you're at Essen or at Indianapolis or wherever at a larger convention. I think this is almost impossible. And as I said already in late October, I think if you want to just duplicate a physical convention to an online format, that you will fail. I think this is not really possible. Um, Okay, so let me just take a look here. Yeah, Ben, good morning from LA. Yeah, you have your full day still in front of you. Podfather of Gaming is saying, so Stephen is saying, I'm predicting that GenCon will run. There will be enough people in the US that will be vaccinated and they can require this. Yeah, maybe. I'm not that optimistic. I'm not that optimistic, but I know that you are very optimistic, and I really hope it will happen. But I have my serious doubts. And according to German plans, I think I already mentioned this, but let me repeat this. I will get my two shots not before December of 2021, and this is the earliest. Of course, there are many question marks because it could be that Germany is able to acquire more stuff sooner, or that less people want to have their shots because it's not required. You can say no to it. But it could be also that it will even take longer. So I'm not that optimistic. But hopefully you're completely right here. Kevin, good to see you. A local face here from Billerby, Germany. Good to see you. Um, Daniel is saying, I'm hoping for small buddy cons in 2021. Yes, that would be good. So small, local, maybe some regional events. I think this is doable, and this is all I'm asking for. Okay. Or yeah, Daniel is saying renting a house with some friends for a long weekend to play games. And actually, I think I mentioned this also before. In August, we were in a hotel here in Germany with 6 people. We had our own room, and there were, of course, special measures for everybody. But in Germany at that time, we had hardly any cases, and so that was possible. And maybe it is again possible next summer. Let's see. And Bodo, good to see you. So, what are your bees doing? So, hope every all your bees are still alive and doing well. And he's saying I'm missing Bödefeld, which is a small event. So several times a year we met there with about 25 people and played games for a weekend. And I was able to test a lot of games with Bodo. I was a great play tester, also a wonderful person, of course. And yes, I'm missing this as well. Um, uh, yeah, Stephen is saying I'm predicting that Essen will run in person. Maybe. I'm not that sure. It could be. I have my hotel room. I was able to convert my 2020 hotel room to 21, and as better happens, because I doubt that I will be able to move my reservation for again to next year, so to next to 2022. So let's see. Yeah, and Stephen is confirming he's the ultimate optimist, and this is why we are all loving him, but not only for that. Um, okay. Yeah, Uftada, a nice name, is saying I recently got my Twilight Imperium 4 expansion. Can't wait for our first 8-player game. I can imagine this is always an event. Daniel, yeah, if you are coming to Essen, let me know well in advance. So maybe then I cancel everything at Essen so that I don't have to meet you. No, would be lovely seeing you again. Moving onward here, I was so looking to 2020 and Spielworxx, and I'm very happy with the 4 Spielworxx releases, and you know that 2 of them, which were kickstarted by Indie and Stronghold Games, Stephen, that they will be only released next year. And among the class of 2020, I think that the cost is truly special, and in my opinion, it is, or it may be the first truly successful serious tabletop game if you want to put it into a special genre. So I'm very happy, and of course, I'm very happy with the Grand Trunk Journey by Claude as well. And speaking of Claude, who is here also in the chat, we are right now, or we finished a vassal game of his forthcoming Spielworxx game, the Smoky Valley, and this game is now so good. So that was really a lot of fun, and we will move to blind testing of that game, online blind testing probably in January. So I will inform everybody here and at my website via the newsletter. So I'm really looking forward to this. And in January here also in this Spielworxx chat, I will take a look back with a guest, together with a guest, at my gaming year 2020 in detail. Right now, I just want to mention 3 games that have me impressed most. And you may know that I've played very few new games so that were released this year, either online or in person. So it's not really a list of very new releases. So first, let me grab the box. So this is, as you know, Pax Pamir. This is a German edition, but most of you have played the English language edition. And I've played this game now more than 20 times this year alone, and mainly online, of course. And in my opinion, it is really excellent, outstanding, and it is also my game of the year 2019 in the English edition, because the English edition was already released last year, the German edition only this year. And I'm seeing Daniel, I've never played Pax Pamir, you brood. We should play a game via Vessel soon online. And Marcus here, Purple Shiba, who is in this chat, or who I saw earlier, we already played 1 game online of Pax Pamir, and we will play another game late this year. And my second game that is outstanding from this year, or which I've played this year, is Fort by Leader Games. So what I like, in my opinion, is it's an excellent package, small package, and also an excellent deck builder with a twist. And also the artwork is lovely. So great game, plays well with 2. And my last game here is a big box. It's Versailles 1919 by Mark Herman and Geoff Engelstein, released by GMT Games. And it also plays very well online. There's an excellent online module for it. In my opinion, it's a great game, and that is so much more than just pushing cubes on issue cards. So on first glance, you're thinking, is this all? Is this Versailles? Yes, it is. It is really a great game. Ben is right, playing with similar people. And Daniel hasn't also played a Fort, so really, what did you do this year? What a nightmare. And Ben is saying, yes, Versailles, I need to find people to play with. And of course, our schedule, you're in LA and I'm here, is a lot different. But if you can manage to play early in your morning and I'm playing in late afternoon, we can definitely play a game, and we should play with 3 or 4. So I don't think it's a good 2-player game. So moving from games to books of 2020, the 3 books that impressed me most this year are first Sam Vesson, so The Big Goodbye, Chinatown, and the Last Years of Hollywood. And this is really, if you like Hollywood movies from the 70s, if you would like to know a lot more about the people, the directors, the actors, I can only recommend this highly. It is a great look at Hollywood, the holiday maybe too, Hollywood in the 70s, on the movie Chinatown, and much more. So great book. Then Tim Blanning, The Pursuit of Glory, Europe 1648 till 1815. This is a paperback edition, and this is history writing as it should be. It's very exciting, but also very thought stimulating. So highly, highly recommend it. And the third one, and my pronunciation will so off, and hopefully I'm not mangling the name too much. But I know there's also a German edition of this one out now from this year. This one is from 2019, but I only read it this year. It's Shoshana Zuboff, The Age of Surveillance Capitalism. And if I have to make one sentence review of this book, it would be, in which world do you want to live? So it's an outstanding book in my opinion. Back to gaming. So I mentioned this several times that I hardly play games solitaire. However, I stumbled across a copy of Sevastopol from SPI in 1978. So here are the rules. This is this game. And the game covers the siege of Sevastopol in the Crimean War. And this game has really an interesting system. I played the game in the mid-80s, I think. And I want to find out how this one plays and feels these days. You may know most war games at that time, they had hexagon maps, but this one does not have a hexagon map. So in the next few days I will set it up here, solitaire, and I will play at least a couple of turns, and then I will report back. And here are also some pictures I stole from BGG. Hopefully you can see them now. So what you should see now is a part of the game map, of the game board although it's a paper map, it's truly a paper map, and in the center there's a ruler, so you can measure the distances, like in some miniature game. But this is a tabletop board war game, and then there is also the full game set up here. So you see that's a fortress of Sevastopol in the Black Sea, and the Russian fortress, and then the surrounding areas, and the French and the British are trying to take it. So yeah, interesting game. So let's see how this will turn out. The first Spielworxx title in 2021 will be Tharos by Bernd Scholz. And I'll cover that game here in detail in January. And the Kickstarter campaign of this one should start in February, so 2 months from now. So let me take a look at the chat window. Matt is asking, do you typically read English or German books? Both. So it really depends. And as a cheapo, I try to see where I can get them cheaper or earlier. And of course, this book is already paperback, and it was a year out earlier than the German edition. So I'll take the English edition. This one, I doubt that it is out in a German edition, and this one for sure is not out in a German edition. So I have no chance. But if I have a chance and the price is comparable, I would buy the German edition, because this of course is faster for me in reading. So I can read a lot faster in German. And if you are reading a novel, then it gets even more complicated. In a history book, because I'm an historian by profession, or in such a book, a non-fiction book, I know most of the words, but in a novel there are, as you know, of course, there are 50 words for love or for hate. And in German I know all the nuances, but it's very difficult if it's needed in a novel to see all these nuances. And so yeah, I prefer German, but otherwise it depends. I'm cheap. And Mo is saying to Sevastopol, ancient game. Yes, it is. And really, I'm excited. And one thing, if you see how rules were done in these times, so they didn't think too hard about illustrations in the rules. So this is a typical 2 pages of the rules. But here you see there are illustrations. So you see how you do your siege lines, the parallels to the fortress. But otherwise, it's just text. It's just text. Different types. And war games are, of course, very wordy anyway. But let us move now to the 5 questions. So we will close the episode with 5 questions. And the first one to write the correct answer in the chat window will win a free game. However, a single person may only win a total of a maximum of 2 games. So single person, 2 games, but there are 5 questions. And so let's see. Let me just prepare. Of course, it's pre-Christmas. So this one is, of course, very fancy. You see this, it's, of course, also the roosters. It's the roosters and it's Christmas in blue-white because it's not red-white, but blue-white are the colors. So this is, now I'm prepared. Uftata, take my money for Tharos. I take money, of course. But seriously, thank you very much for your support. So, first question. And you may win a copy of Throne of Allegoria. And by the way, the winners, I will write them down, but you have to, of course, drop me a mail later today or tomorrow, and I will mention my mail address anyway at the end of the episode. So, first question for Throne of Allegoria. Who was my first guest here in the weekly Spielworxx chat? First guest here in the weekly Spielworxx chat at Twitch. And of course, I can give hints if you do not know it. So first guest, who was my first guest? I'm doing this since April, and no. Not really, no. It's also not correct. No. So, no. So, he is running a podcast. He is doing a podcast. That was my first hint. Second hint is no. Also not correct. Second hint, he is living in Berlin. Berlin? No. Yes, so Uftata, Ben Maddox. It was Ben Maddox in June. So it was the troublemaker himself, Ben Maddox, 5 games for Doomsday. By the way, I already mentioned this several times. It's a great, great podcast, and you should listen. So let me just write it down. And please remember that you drop me a mail for this. So, moving from first to second question, you see, this is brutal. Yeah, my questions are difficult. As I already wrote on Twitter to Daniel, you basically need to be a Sherlock to know this. It's brutal. So, second question, you may win a copy of The Cost. And please tell me the title of the second game done by a designer duo for Spielworxx. Title of a game done by a designer duo for Spielworxx. So by 2 designers, second game of them for Spielworxx. No, it's not La Granja. It's a second game by 2 designers for Spielworxx. Yes, Matt is correct. It's Solarius Mission. It was Solarius Mission. Actually, Dan, you weren't far off. Because that was their first game, La Granja. So that is Matt. No, not Off der Walz. No. Yeah, and Daniel is saying it. Same designers, just first game. So second game was Solarius Mission. Third question, again, a Throne of Allegoria. Please tell me the title of the game still in print at Fantasy Flight Games, for which I did the development for the first professional edition. There was also a semi-professional edition released before. German or English title is fine. So, It's a game still in the catalog at Fantasy Flight Games. And I did the development for that game, but for the first edition. No, it's not a Game of Thrones. I never worked on that game. No, it's not Dungeon. That is probably the game from Parker Brothers from '75. I'm not that old. So the game is still in the catalog. I can give you a first hint. No. It's not. It's neither Solar Feeder nor Descent. Fantasy Flight was not the first English or the first US company distributing the game. It was the first. It was first distributed in the US by Mayfair Games. It's also not Auf der Walz. No, it's not Thrones of Allegoria. No. So it's a long time ago. So, but the game is still in print, and the name, second hint here, the name of the semi-professional version of that game is no, it's not Tribune, is Pingvinas. Pingvinas was the title of the semi-professional version of the first edition. So, which game? Which is at Fantasy Flight Games, and I think it is still being done. No, it's not Tigris and Euphrates. It's not Senator. No, it's a smallish package. It's for Fantasy Flight game. No, it's not Virgin Queen. It's an uncharacteristically small package, not Kingdoms. And I'm pretty sure there's still an app. No, not Citadels. There's still an app version for this game. There was an app version. So let me give you another hint. The designer is from Berlin also. So, and it was first released simultaneously by Mayfair Games and by Phalanx Games. In probably 2005. So, anybody? I will now mention the German title, the first German title in the professional version, which I worked for, and then of course I need the English title. So that first German title was Packeis am Pol. Packeis am Pol. It's not Colossal Arena. No, anybody? And I thought these questions are easy, but maybe this one is to no, it's not Arena. No, yeah, Matt is correct. It's hey, that's my fish. So yeah, and because Matt has already a copy here, I will switch with the SU-87. Is this okay, Matt, for you? Yeah, I think so. So we will move this to the SU-87. So fourth question, but this one hopefully is a little bit easier, and you may win a copy of Die Macher. On which Spielworxx game board? On which Spielworxx game board is the name of my hometown where I was born spelled out? So on which game board of the Spielworxx game? No, not Auf der Walz. Is the name of my hometown where I was born. Ruhrschifffahrt. Yes, it's Claude. Yes, and I can show it to it's Hattingen. The town is Hattingen. And let me bring this up here. Let me see if you can see it now. So there's Hattingen. Hattingen. It's in the Ruhr area, so it's a neighbor city of Essen. So that's the Ruhr River, of course, here. and this is Essen. So Stehle, Werden, this is all Essen. And but my hometown here is Hattingen. So Claude is correct. Oh, that's I see it. Blue Dane had it before. Your spelling is fine, Claude. No luck. So you were too late. So I have to. You are of course correct. I did not spot this. So if you see that I'm making a mistake, please correct me. Spelling is fine. Okay, and fifth and final question. This is again for a throne of Allegoria, and this is just a guessing question, so everybody has the same chance. Please tell me the year when I, so Uli, attended my first ever Origins game convention. Year when I attended my first Origins game convention in the US. No, no. Never is not correct. No, no. Hopefully I'm not missing anything. No, this is not correct. This is not correct. Hint, it's in the last century. No, no. So last century, 1887 is nice, but not correct. Yeah, no, 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 no. No, no, no. There aren't that many open. Hopefully I'm not missing something now. No, no, still no. No, no, no. So far we are out here. Close. No, so far I hopefully I haven't missed it now because there are so many years. Let me say exactly. It's a process of elimination. It's in the 80s, so that is now very easy. No, 85. So hopefully, so it would be Blue Dane again. Hopefully, if I haven't missed this before, please tell me if nobody mentioned 85 before. So hopefully this is correct. But otherwise, I'm saying it's Blue Dane 7, who had 1985 at 618. And yeah, at that time, Origins was still a traveling convention, and so it wasn't at Columbus, Ohio. It was in Baltimore at the Towson State University. So, and I was, of course, a lot younger than today, and I had hardly any money. So, but I flew over because I was so excited, and at that time it was mainly a wargaming convention. There were about 2,500 attendees, and I had a blast. So I was hooked, and I was staying at this Towson State University at an university dormitory. So very cheap, but of course the flight was expensive, and these were great times. And afterwards, I said, now I have to go to Origins each and every year, but I didn't have the money to do this. So my next one was in '88 when GenCon and Origins were a combined show at Milwaukee. So in that year, and I think there were one or two more times when GenCon and Origins combined, and so it was '85 and then '88. Great times. So let me see here. And yeah, Chris is saying, is this a Rooster's Christmas hat? Yes, of course. So you are late. Here you see. Let me take this off. It's too warm anyway. And you see, it's a Roosters. It's blue-white. And the Roosters, by the way, are playing the first season game tomorrow, and I'm so excited. Yeah, thank you very much. For spending the time with me. The ones who won a game should contact me tomorrow for sure, or today, but I won't check my mails, and then I will mail out the games. And next week I will have a guest. It's designer Emma Larkins, and we will talk about how it is to be Ludology co-host. So I will mention Ludology a little bit more, and we will also take a close look at her Abandon All Artichokes game. So thank you for your time. So as I mentioned, this is not the last episode for this year. We will have another episode next year. But if you would like to see a special topic discussed or have a specific question that you'd like to ask in advance, drop me a mail at uli@spielworxx.de. That is uli@spielworxx.de. That is also the address if you want to mail me your address so that I can send out your games. Yeah, the questions are too specific. This is the nature of the beast. And if you know a little bit of Spielworxx, you would have some chances. But anyway, it's not about winning games. It's a little bit about having some fun. And so happy holidays. Frohes Fest till next week. Bleibt alle gesund. This is most important in these times, and Black lives, of course, matter. Bye bye. Bye.